to do in between.
You're listening to the Rick Smith Show here with Steve Cickay. He's running for the 10th Senatorial District. His website, stevecickay.com. You can get it from the ricksmithshow.com. Just click on Steve's name. Take you right there. You know, in 2010, when Corbett and the current class of people up for election were running, it was all about jobs. It was all about we're going to bring businesses to Pennsylvania. In fact, Corbett last night during the debate said, mission accomplished, promise kept, we're bringing companies back. Yet, according to the newspaper of the investor class, the Wall Street Journal, Pennsylvania has the fourth slowest growing economy in the nation. Numerous studies have been done that have shown that during the Corbett years, we've gone from 7th to 47th in job creation. Now, we've tried all of the beggar thy neighbor economic development stuff. We've taken $1 billion from education and handed it out to these companies. It's failed. This ideology has failed. So my question is, where do you see us going with this failed ideology, this failed thought process, theory, whatever you want to call it? Where do we go in the right direction?
Well, that's exactly why I'm running for office, because I don't want another 4 years of this failed policy. And in fact, I think it's been failing since the Reagan years. Trickle down just doesn't work. We need to invest in our infrastructure. And that's a perfect way to get more jobs, at least in my county. We need more better roads. We need better bridges. We need better sewer infrastructure. We need better electric infrastructure. We need to set the table for private industry so that good-paying jobs can come to the district and be supported by an infrastructure that is meaningful. Unfortunately, we have not been investing in infrastructure, and by not investing in it, we have been kind of behind the eight ball in terms of encouraging good businesses to come. Another example is under this administration, they killed the solar tax credit for installing solar panels on homes. Thank you. And that is a great local source of jobs.
Yep.
And by doing that, they've also encouraged a continuation of a dependence on non-renewable energy. We need to get back in the direction and bringing green jobs to this county. We've got great schools in Philadelphia that have innovative minds. We've got to attract those kids to come to my place up in District 10 and maybe work on industries that would lead us in the right direction in terms of renewable energy sources.
You must be listening to the program, because I rail on that all the time. Because right at the time that the SREC credits bottomed out is when we put solar panels on our house. And it's because of this administration that the residential solar industry in our Commonwealth has just been decimated. In fact, the company that put the panels on our house is barely hanging on, doing other stuff, because they've allowed this to go straight to pot.
Well, follow the money. It looks like there's no taxes on the oil companies here. There's no severance tax. And yet we kill the solar credit for homeowners. So who's getting hurt here? It looks like the rich oil companies are getting richer, and the poor homeowner is not provided a subsidy to do something that would be more efficient for the homeowner and help the homeowner in the long run, and also help our environment. So it is very frustrating to see, and that's another reason why I'm running. And as long as we're talking about campaign contributions too, I think that's just one of the big things wrong with politics right now. There's a lot of career politicians who look over their shoulder for the big campaign contribution, and then instead of serving the people, they serve the special interests that give them money. And I'm kind of a fresh voice in politics. Although I spent my whole life in public service, I never held an office, and I'm not beholden to anyone. So what I want to do is go to Harrisburg and figure out what's right for the middle class, for the ordinary people who are struggling each day to make ends meet and make life better for them.
So are we in favor of publicly funded elections?
Definitely. I'm seeing this firsthand as a first-time runner, how money just really pollutes the political process. We need to get back to our fundamental values of democracy, where people go and serve for a short period of time, and they do their best, and then they come home and let another person give it a shot. These career politicians are collecting pensions, which is outrageous to me, especially when we have a pension crisis. They're collecting all these huge health benefits, and yet they don't have any empathy to pass a minimum wage law, and they don't have any empathy to pass Medicaid expansion. while they get these very nice health plans, and I find that unconscionable.
I'm right there with you. Absolutely unconscionable that they do, and that's on both sides of the aisle. They've got the very best that you can get, yet denying to others, especially when you look at the extreme right wing of our process here, the people who would then turn and deny someone of those opportunities. And I think of our governor, one of his first acts was to kick 41,000 people, low-wage workers, off of adult basic, then went after about 90,000 kids to kick them off a chip. These are things that I think people have to remember that this governor did.
Yes, and I hope that gets publicized well, and also the fact that Medicaid expansion could have been effective January 1st. And here again, I'm talking like a Republican. Our federal tax dollars go to Washington, and Governor Corbett and Chuck McElhaney had the chance to dollars back of our federal tax dollars into Pennsylvania to create jobs. We would have had 30,000 health care jobs. We would have had 500,000 people insured. And because of their ideology, they voted against, Chuck was one of the few senators who voted against Medicaid expansion, and Corbett was championing making sure that we did not get our federal tax dollars back. And that just doesn't make any sense to me, both on a business point of view and from an ethical, moral point of view.
The way I see it, we're on the wrong path, and the Corbett and McElhaney clan, they're the folks who have put us there.
Exactly, and I'm very optimistic that there will be a Democratic wave on November 4th, because people are starting to wise up to this fact that the Corbett-McElhaney plan of trickle-down, of paying attention to special interests, that doesn't work for the people. We need a new, fresh start that really focuses on what's good for the middle class, and we can get things back to the way they should be in America. Let me just bring up my favorite American novel, The Grapes of Wrath. And, it was a great novel. It was a great movie. And the sad thing about it is when we talk about this minimum wage issue, I think what we're seeing is a race to the bottom, where people are struggling day in and day out. 1 million people would benefit by raising the minimum wage. Yep. And if you remember the story in that wonderful novel, you just saw the fact that, when there was not enough power with the government to help people, when corporations were just too rich and too powerful, the ordinary man suffered. And unfortunately, I think we're moving in that direction now, and we have to change the pendulum. We have to let government not be a force for the rich, but we need government to be a force for the ordinary people. And if we do that, I think we will right the injustice that has been happening in the last few years, and we will get America back on track. Because if we have more wages going into the local economy, that helps the middle class. That helps grow the middle class, and that creates more jobs. As you can see, there are 13 states that raised the minimum wage, and job growth has been increasing there. The answer is to help the middle class, and then the middle class will grow. And we need politicians in office who understand that and stop following the misguided ideology of trickle-down.
Absolutely. It's bottom-up, not top-down. Absolutely. Steve, I appreciate you taking time with us. If you want to know more about Steve's campaign or where he stands, stevecickay.com, the website, or just go to the ricksmithshow.com, click on Steve's name, take you right there. Steve, I appreciate you taking time with us.